This video is on the laws of exponents. First law of exponents is if you have a number, a base b with an exponent e multiplied by a base b to the exponent f. This is the same as base b with an exponent equal to e plus f. Example of this is if I have, let's say, 8 squared times 8 to the third power, or 8 cubed, that will equal 8 to the 2 plus 3 in the exponent. So the reason for this is this 2 says that it is 8 times 8. This multiply symbol matches that multiply symbol. And then this 3 says that the thing right in front of the 3 happens 3 times. So then you have 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 is 8 to the 5 power. Okay. Our next, pause the video, take notes if you want, press play when you're ready. Our next exponent rule says if you have a base b to the exponent e and you divide it by base b exponent f, that this is equal to base b with an exponent of e minus f. So an example of that, if I have 8 to the 5 power, divide 8 to the 3 power, that will equal 8 to the 5 minus 3, or 8 squared. The reason for this are 8 to the 5 power is 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. Or 8 to the 3 power is 8 times 8 times 8. If I was going to simplify 8 divided by 8, that would equal 1, or 1 divided by 1. I can simplify this to also be 1 divided by 1. All right. So then at the top, I have 8 times 8 times 1 times 1 times 1. The bottom, I have 1 times 1 times 1. So at the very top, that is just 8 squared. The bottom is 1, so 8 squared. Pause the video, hit play when you're ready to continue. Our next exponent rule. If you have a base b to the exponent e, and then I put that whole thing to the exponent f, this is equal to base b to the e times f. Example of this, let's say I have 8 to the 3rd power, and I square that whole thing. This will equal 8 to the 3 times 2. The reason, this exponent 2 So exponents always affect the thing right in front of it. And what is right in front of the 2? This parentheses. So this parentheses is happening 2 times. So 8 to the third, 8 to the third. In between these parentheses is a multiply sign, so I'm just going to put that in there. And so this basically ends up equaling this first 8 to 3, that's just 8 times 8 times 8. And put that multiply symbol right here. And then this other 8 to the third. 8 times 8 times 8, which is, of course, 8 to the 6th power. Same as this. Okay, our next exponent rule I want to talk about is if you have inside parentheses a times b, and that is raised to the exponent e. So this is a times b, and that will equal a to the e power times b to the e power. An example of this, let's say that I have 2 times x raised to the 3rd power. All right, so that should equal 2 to the 3rd power times x to the 3rd power. We use sort of the same reasoning. This 3, the thing right in front of the exponent, happens 3 times. So this means this parentheses is happening 3 times. So this is 2x, 2x, 2x. There's a multiply between this 2 and the x. This is 2 times x, like I said at the beginning. And there's a multiply in between all these parentheses. Since this is all just a lot of multiplying, I'm allowed to put them in whatever order I want. So I'm going to write it as 2 times 2 times 2 times x times x times x, which is, of course, equal to 2 to the 3rd power times x to the 3rd power.